We're going to start with the homework, right? That you had to do for today. That was, I already explained it. Like we had this exercise, we have this other, and the exercise on the other page. So this is it. We're beginning right over here because we have already done this part in class last time. So let's come this part, right? Part B. So add the verb phrases from exercise 9 when, okay, get it here, to the correct group. But I said not to use this. I told you actually to find a different verb that was accompanied by the prepositions that we got here. So let's begin with number one. We have agree with, argue with, and who can give me another one?
Chat with.
Act with.
Chat.
Which one?
Chat.
Hat. How do you spell it?
P-H-A-T. Chat.
Oh, chat. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear properly. All right, that was good. Chat with. All right. Somebody else has a different option here.
Keep up.
Keep up with. All right, you got it. Keep up with. Can you please tell me what the meaning of keep up with? Keep up with is?
Mantener con.
Mantener con. It would be like mantener el nivel o el paso a algo, right? Like, for example, maybe I speak English so fast and sometimes you aren't able to understand what I say. So, no ser capaz de entender lo que yo digo, en ese caso
Como
sería,
llevarle el ritmo, llevarle el
yes.
ritmo.
So,
Se usa como también cuando uno dice que le mantiene el ritmo del baile a la persona y eso.
exactly, but not only in dancing, but in general, right? So as I was explaining, maybe I speak so fast and sometimes you are not able to understand any of the words I say. So you say something like, oh, I cannot keep up with the teacher, which means that no me puede seguir el ritmo, what you're saying. But sometimes you're so intelligent, guys. Actually, you're so intelligent, you can keep up with me, right? Even if I speak so fast, you can keep it up with me, which means me siguen el ritmo. So good. Another person with a different verb. Number one.
Live with.
Live with. But you mean live like leave or live like, like living with your parents? That's what you mean.
Yes.
All right. So live, similar to life. All right, got it. Another one, and the last one for number one.
Deal.
Deal. All right, we got two. Disagree and deal with, the one that Cynthia said. Cynthia, could you explain what the meaning of deal is?
Lidiar.
Lidiar. In this case, would be like lidiar con algo o con alguien, right? So yeah, that was great. Now let's move on to number two. Worry about, we know what it is, complain about, and go ahead.
Think about.
All right, good. Think about.
Read.
Good.
Read about.
Talk about.
Talk about. Who said,
Learn about.
Which one?
Learn.
Can you spell that one, please? Miss Wendy, it was you who said it.
Learn. Aprender.
Learn. All right, because it was like let. That's what I heard. All right, learn. Learn about. All right, good, good.
Know about.
Know about something. Great.
Dream about.
Dream. All right, dream about something. Great.
Discuss about.
Which one?
Discuss.
Discuss. Oh, take a look there. Let's stop it. Discuss could be used with about. However, we don't normally use discuss with a preposition about. We use it with a preposition. Like we can say, vamos a discutir acerca de este tema. You don't need to say, we're going to discuss about this topic. Actually, we say, we're going to discuss this topic, sin la preposición without, right? About. So discussed, I would say no. right? Yeah, it's kind of possible, but I would say no for this part, all right? So don't forget it. For discuss, we don't normally use a preposition. In this case, a preposition about. So let's continue. Another one with about. Another verb with about, guys.
Mes. Mes about, pero no sé qué significa.
Mess about, but that is yeah, it's a phrasal verb, and this phrasal verb has to do with let me check it out because I don't remember exactly what it is. All right, to mess about or mess around, that's what it is. Yeah, mess about or mess around means perder el tiempo. In this case, mess about, right? Like let's say that you have to do a homework, but you don't do your homework. Instead of your homework, you start watching television, speaking to your friends, or I mean, you are messing around or messing about, right? Yes, why not? Perder el tiempo. Good. Now let's move on to number 3. Belong to, pay attention to, and
Walk to.
all right, that one works. Another one.
Access to. Access to.
All right,
Listen to.
listen to. Great. Add
Right
to.
to.
Which one?
Access to. Access to.
Access to. All right, to have access to. Someone said another one.
Look forward to.
Look forward to. Great. Look forward to. Great. All right, let's move on to number 4. Pay for. Wait for.
Care for.
Care for. Great.
Look for.
Live for.
Look for.
Wish for.
Wish for something. Good.
Live for.
Live for. To live for something. All
Has
right.
a talent for.
All right, we have a talent for. Have a talent for. But in this case, will be more like an expression, not a verb. Another one. No more? Okay, let's move on then to number 5. Depend on, rely on, and what else we could have here?
Get on.
All
Take
right.
on.
Take on, get on. What else?
Go on.
Go
Hold on.
on. Hold on. I love that one. Another one.
On.
Okay.
Plan on.
To plan, to plan something. I'm planning on doing something. Yeah, plan on. Yeah, good.
Turn on.
Which one?
Turn on.
Turn. Yeah, turn on. Great. Now let's move on to 6. Look at and laugh at. Another one.
Arrive at.
Arrive at a place. Good. Arrive at a place.
Level up.
Come up.
Come at. Good. Level at.
Stay at.
Stay at a place. Good.
Smile at.
Smile at. Yeah.
Work at.
Walk at. Well, maybe. Why not? Let's then move on to number 7. Like succeed in and believe in.
Implicate in.
All right, good. Another one.
Get in.
Get in. Great.
Come in.
Come in. Another one, please.
Put
Put
in.
in.
To put something in. Good. Great, great.
Checking.
Check in. All right, we get it. That's it's a pretty common one. And the last one, tell me the last one. Another one within.
Breaking.
Break in. All right. Good. That's more related to breaking into some into place, but yes, it could be possible too. Great people. Great. Now let's move to this part. Now let me see. Did I give you? All right. Anyways, let's move to this part. Right here, you have to read this article and answer these questions down here in exercise C, all right? Just answering the questions that we had right here. So I need one person to help me read this test 21, right? Who would like to read? Mr. Coronado or Mr. Juan?
Only first paragraph, yeah? Or all?
No, the whole thing. The whole thing. So the human computer. Go ahead. Everybody, please listen up.
The human computer. Daniel Tammet said he was born on a blue day, January 31, 1979. He know it was blue because Wednesdays are always blue, like the number 9 or the sound of people arguing. As a child, Daniel was diagnosed an autism.
Mister, sorry to interrupt you. Here, Daniel was diagnosed. All right.
Diagnosed.
Great. As an autist. Good. Continue.
Okay. Daniel was diagnosed.
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 All right.
Daniel was diagnosed as an autistic. He called my friend. He was too different from the other children. At age 8, he was able to calculate 82 in his head.
Well, actually, Mister, when we get this symbol here, it means times, right? 82 times 82 times 82 times 82, all right? So when we get the por, we say times.
¿Cómo se
Right?
escribe time?
Time.
Like time, yeah, like time. All right,
Okay.
so go ahead.
But he could tie his own shoelace or ride a bicycle.
All right.
I have figure.
Yeah, let's continue, Mister.
Okay. The thing that makes Daniel special is that he has an incredible ability with numbers. He manages a shape and a color. 2,080.
200.
289. It's an ugly number, he said, and he's able to do extremely difficult mathematical calculations. On the TV program that made him famous, he managed to raise it by 20,000.
22,000.
22,540 14 numbers from a paper fully. If you tell Daniel your birthday, he can tell you what day of the week you were born on and what day of the week it will be on your 50th birthday. 5 years old.
Continue, Daniel.
Daniel count everything. He eats exactly 45 grams or an oatmeal for breakfast each morning. And he brushes his teeth for exactly 2 minutes. He doesn't like walking on the beach near his home because there are too many people
to count.
Daniel's other great love, besides number, which he calls his friend, is learning language. He speaks 10 and he's managed to learn Icelandic in a way for a TV program in Iceland. He is now best-selling author. With both in Bloomberg and a blue day, embracing the white sky and thinking in numbers.
All right, good, Mister. Embracing here. Embracing, different from embarrassing. All right, very good, Mister. Very good. So, as you could see, this article speaks about this man, right? about a man who is very much intelligent and he's very good at numbers. So let's get going down here and answer the questions. So how was his behavior different from that of all the children? Can somebody answer this question? How was
Yo.
his behavior different from that of other children? Whom?
Yo.
All right, go ahead, Miss Lucinia.
When he was a child, he could solve complicated math operations, but he could not tie his shoelaces, los cordones. Así se pronuncia. ¿Cómo se pronuncia?
Shoelaces. Shoelaces.
Shoelaces, or ride a bicycle like other children.
All right, very good, Miss. Excellent. Let's go to number 2. Now, what special talents does he have? What special talents does he have?
Me.
All right, who's
Okay.
me?
Vianney.
All right, Vianney, go ahead, Miss Vianney.
He has an incredible ability with numbers.
Yes. What else? Because he has extra abilities. Like, yeah, he has abilities with numbers, but he has more abilities.
Mimi.
All right, you, go ahead.
He has many talents. He is able to do mathematical calculation with his head. Also, he can speak 10 languages and he can write fantastic books.
All right, good. Also, he can tell you your 65th birthday if you just give him some numbers, right? So yes, he has many talents. Great. How about number 3? How did the public learn? How did the public learn about his special talents? How did the public, other people, right?
The public learned about his special talent. He was first on the TV program.
All right, because he was first in the TV program. Great. 4. What country or countries have been, he has been to, and what did he do there?
He was in Iceland and on a TV program there.
All right, great. Good. Number 5. What does he do now?
He now is a best-selling author.
An author, right? Good. He writes books. He's an author too. Great. Good, miss. And number 6. What has he published?
His books.
What is the name of the book?
Born on a Blue Day, Embracing the White Sky, and Thinking in Numbers.
All right, embracing again, right? Embracing the white sky and thinking in numbers.
Okay, embrace.
Just like I would like to ask you guys, what is the meaning of a blue day? What is that? What is the meaning of a blue day? Who could tell me that?
Like a sad day.
Yes, a sad day. That's what blue means. Blue, the color blue, right? Can also mean sad. So here is a blue day, right? Means a sad day. So very good. So in the next time you say, oh, I feel a little sad, or I am a little sad, you can also say I am a little blue, meaning the same thing. Now, very good, guys. That was great. Now let's move on to the next exercise that you had as homework. It was this one. So here I would need another person to read. Right? I am not going to read it this time. You're going to read it and you are going to fill in the blanks that you have right here. So who would like to read?
Me.
Miss Castro, go ahead.
When 4 years old, Derek Paravicini
Yeah.
heard the sound of the piano. He ran toward it. Although he was blind, he managed to reach the instrument.
All right.
He pushed the piano player, a small girl, off her stool and started to play. Adam Oakleford, a piano teacher, said it was extraordinary. He was hitting the notes with his hand, his feet, his nose, even his elbows.
Even.
Paravas-
Even.
Even
All right.
his elbows.
All right. Good.
Paravicini was able to play the tune he had just heard, and at that moment, Oakleford realized the boy was a genius. Paravicini was born blind and autistic and had great learning difficulties.
Okay.
As a child, he can't do many things that ordinary children do. Even today, as an adult, he can count to 10, and he isn't able to dress or feed himself. But Travasini has one incredible gift, music. Like Mozart, he could remember every piece of music he heard.
Okay.
It started when his parents gave him a plastic organ when he was 18 months old. He could see the notes, but he managed to play tunes on it. By the time he was 4, he could not play many pieces of the piano. With Oakleford's help, Paravicini developed his technique and played his first major concert at the Barbican Hall in London. At
Okay.
age 9, he has performed all over Europe and the USA, and in
Yeah.
2006 recorded his first CD.
Recorded his.
Recorded first
Okay.
CD.
His first CD. Very good, miss. That was excellent. Now let's remember the pronunciation of each of these words right here, right? So we say, well, I remember I once explained how to do it, but let's do it just the normal way. So can, isn't, especially these two, right? Manage, managed, right? Don't mispronounce these sort of verbs, right? So we have managed to. It's not manage, is not managed, right? Is managed, all right? And in the case of this right here, is able, not able, not the others, right? Able. So don't forget the pronunciation of these two words right here. All right, guys, that was very good. Now let's move on to what we have next. Let's start with lesson number 8. So we're going to talk about communities this time. And well, for today, we are going to cover like 2 grammar topics that are 2 grammar topics that are the 2 things that we're going to do today. Now, as I said to you before, we are just going to cover the first half of lesson number 8. Next week, we'll cover part 2, right? The second part of lesson number 8. So as you can see right here, the grammar that we are going to cover today are going to be the articles that you know how to use the articles because you already know what the articles are, right? And also we are going to speak about this, quantifiers. All right, so those are the 2 grammar topics that we are going to cover or address for today's class. Now, I like everyone, I want you guys to go to your books and go to, this is page number, let me see it, page number 92. Page number 92. All right, so here we got some vocabulary, some exercises that we are going to to do to cover today. So this is it. Take a look. It says getting along. Can somebody tell me what the meaning of get along is? What is the meaning of get along? This is a phrasal verb. But what is the meaning of getting along?
Llevarse bien.
Ajá, llevarse bien.
All right, llevarse bien. So as we are going to be speaking about communities, right? Imagine your community, your neighbors around your house. So here we have a question, and I would like you to answer this question to me. So do you know your neighbors? Some people, maybe they know the neighbors, and some of you probably you don't know your neighbors, right? But how well do you know them? Like, do you know your neighbors, people? Or you don't know your neighbors?
Normal.
Normally, I mean, like you have a good relationship with them, but just a normal relationship.
Yes.
All right, Miss Cynthia. So you say that, like, how well do you know them? Like, do you know what they like, what they don't like, what are their favorite stuff? Like,
No.
how well do you like it? I mean, do you know them?
No, I don't know.
You don't. I mean, you know them, but you don't know them.
Yes.
I mean, I think that is
just people like normal.
I mean, you just know that they are your neighbors and that they live either across from your house or you know, next to your house and stuff like this, right?
Exactly.
All right, that's fine. I understand you because the same thing happens to me. There are a lot of people by my surroundings that I don't know, right? I have seen them. I know they live right now. I mean, they live over here, but I mean,
I say hello sometimes, but yeah, that's it.
all right, just like hello. You wave at
Mister,
them.
excuse
Hello,
me.
morning, Mr. Sir.
What page is that?
This is page 92.
Okay. Gracias.
All right, Esther. All right, this is page 92. So let's then continue. Sometimes, I mean, maybe as I would say, like as Barranquillero people, right? We get along. Most of the time we get along well with our neighbors, right? So we have good relationships. We have a good relationship with them, right? Or sometimes, just like Cynthia, we don't know the people, even though they live very close by. You just know that they live there and that they are your neighbors. But man, normally we have good relationships with them. So as you can see, as we are speaking about getting along, having good relationships or bad relationship with someone, here we have this exercise. What do I want you to do? Take a look. Match sentence 1 to 5. Here we have the sentences 1 to 5, right? With the opposite meaning, opposite, like the different meaning, not the same meaning, a different meaning, right? From the sentences A to E. There you have them. For example, number 1 is already done. It says, I get along well with my neighbor. We always say hello and chat, all right? Take a look at here. It says B, my neighbor gets on my nerves. He's always complaining. So what do you think? Take a look. This is something good, right? And this is the opposite of getting along with. Now, recuerden que ya me lo habían dicho, get along with significa llevarse bien con. ¿Y qué creen ustedes que significa get on one's nerve? What do you think it means if this is the opposite of getting along?
Pues llevarse mal.
Right, it will be like, not exactly llevarse mal, but something similar. Why not?
Que tiene hasta los...
Como saludarse,
Algo así.
cosas así. Ni conocerlos.
No, like, but what I mean is
Viene cansado.
Something like that, right? Like to get on
Tener el
one nerve.
espacio.
No, take a look. I'm talking about this one. Take a look. Where is it? Here. Get on my nerves. What do you think that means? Get on my nerves.
Que le molesta.
All right. Yes. It's like an annoying person. Right? My neighbor gets on my nerves, como me molesta todo el tiempo, pero no es chato de que te está molestando, sino que, you know?
Fastidioso.
Yes, thank you. It's an annoying person. That's what get on my nerves means, right? Me afecta. There you go. So, what do you think number 2? Let's go over number 2. I prefer to mind my own business so I don't ask my neighbor's personal question. Before you tell me before you tell me the opposite, what do you think the meaning of mind my own business is in Spanish?
Solo está metido en lo suyo.
Great. Me importa
Solo
lo
le
mío.
importa.
Right?
Ya, los demás.
That's it. No me importa lo que pase con los demás. Solamente me importa lo que pase con lo mío. That's it, right? I mind my own business. Good. So what do you think is the opposite of number 2?
Sí.
Letter C.
We made friends with our neighbors immediately. All right. So I don't ask neighbors personal information. Okay. Why not? It could be possible. Let's see at the end whether you are right or not.
No. E.
Which one?
E.
E. I can be quite noisy, so I often ask my neighbors about their life. Sorry, not noisy, nosy. Okay, I think I agree with you. This is like closer to this one. This is like not doing around, not asking about information, and here is asking for a lot of information. Do you have nosy neighbors, people?
No, I'm the
Bien
nosy
cuidadosos.
neighbor.
Do you know what is nosy? Nosy?
Como
Cuidadoso.
cuidadoso.
No, this is
Entrometido.
good. Ojo, esto viene de nariz. Nose, right? Nosy. A person que mete sus narices donde donde no tiene por qué ir. Right?
Entrometido, metiche.
Thank you, metiche, that one. A nosy person. A nosy person, good.
I had a neighborhood así.
Who's nosy? Those kind of people get on my nerves, right? Nosy neighbors get on my nerves. Good. Let's continue with number 3. I sometimes invite my neighbor over for coffee. Invite over. Ya yo les había dicho a ustedes cuál era la definición de normalmente los phrasal verbs que van con over. Así que, ¿qué quiere decir invite over? So, guys, what is the meaning of inviting over?
Una invitación a salir. No.
No.
Invitar a alguien a tu casa.
Casa. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. Recuerden que normalmente cuando tenemos una clase de un phrasal verb que sea, ya sea pedir o invitar o cualquier cosa, cuando colocamos ese phrasal verb o ese verbo junto con la preposición over, normalmente significa invitar a un lugar específico. ¿Dónde? La casa. All right? La casa de la persona. So, aquí dice normalmente o acostumbro o a veces invito a mi vecino un café. ¿Dónde? En la casa. Right? I sometimes invite my neighbor over for coffee. Now, what do you think is the opposite for this one?
D.
D, yes.
D. This one. Or B. D. So I like to keep to myself. So my neighbors hasn't been in my house. So my neighbor hasn't been in my house. All right, good. Why not? Keep to myself. What do you think is keeping to myself?
Como estar solo.
All right. Why not? But that is not the
Que
exact,
le gusta estar solo, pasar tiempo solo, algo así.
Yes, but that is not the exact meaning. Try to think about it. Take a look. It says.
O sea, que me gusta pasar tiempo consigo mismo, ¿qué?
Esa traducción
No
es
le
muy
gusta
literal.
hablar con los demás.
Like a person that is not pretty much social. So keeping to myself, what means is like
Introvertida.
yes, the person who spend times with himself like alone, as you were saying, right? So, for example, is the opposite of a noisy person. You know, a noisy person, sorry, nosy. A noisy person is a person that is always speaking and doing a lot of things, right? Keep to myself is like
Like Cynthia.
Yeah, that's a nosy person, right?
No, I
And-
don't. I'm not. I'm not.
And keep to
I'm
myself.
not.
It's more like we don't care. You don't care much about what happens to others.
I don't
just
care
spend
about
time with
the
yourself.
other's life.
No, I mean you never keep to yourself. You're so nosy. I'm sorry, but you're nossiness. All right, number
I'm not.
number 4. Can someone read it, please? Number 4. Can someone read number 4? This one. My neighbors. All right, do it. My neighbor's dog is a nuisance. He's always barking early in the morning. What do you think the meaning of this is? A nuisance.
Molesto.
All right, no, molestia. You're very close, Cynthia. It's like como fastidio, right? Fastidio. Como en este caso,
Causa problemas.
exacto, en este caso estamos hablando del perro es un fastidio. El perro es un fastidio, es una molestia, right? So te causa molestia a ti como tal. So that's a nuisance, right? So Cynthia is a nuisance, right? And
Okay. No.
all right, and what is the opposite of this one? Letter A. My neighbor has pet, but they never disturb me. Good. What is the meaning of disturbing?
Molestar.
Molestar.
Disgustar.
Molestar. Good. Good. And here we didn't get to know our neighbors for years. Get to know. What is the meaning of getting to know? I have already explained. All right. Yes, I had already explained this to you. Good. And what is the opposite of this one?
Sí.
Which one? See. All right. Made friends. Right. We have made friends with the neighbors immediately. Good people. Good. So let's come right here. I know. I mean, this is going to be the first class, right? Today's class, actually. Articles. Now let me ask you, guys. Which are the articles, or what are the articles in English? Let's see if you remember. What are the articles in English?
The.
All right, so we have two types, right? We have two types. We have indefinite articles and definite articles. So you said a or an, and also the, right? So those are the articles in English. Good. So those are the ones that we are going to study today, that we're going to learn today. Now, you know how to use them. Do you know how to use them, by the way? Let me ask you this like this. Do you know how to use them? Be honest.
So.
So. All right. Now, don't worry. So today, we are going to work on that. Please let me know if you can see the PowerPoint presentation. Can you see it?
Ahora sí.
All right, great. So then let's work let's work on them, right? So definite and indefinite articles. Let's work on them now. So before starting, I want you to try to fill in the blanks of this letter that we have here. Take a look. Look, trip to Kenya. Look at the letter, fill in the blanks with a and the or no article, and explain your answer to me, all right? But you're not going to do it straight away. And then you will check this at the end of the presentation. So let's read. I'm going to read, and you're going to tell me what you think goes there. If it goes a, if it goes and, if it goes the, or if it goes nothing, all right? So let's start. Dear Martha, we took
The most.
all right the most wonderful trip last month. All right, we went on
No article.
no article. All right, let's say no article. Let's say I'm not going to give you any answers, right? So Cynthia said I think, right? Cynthia, you said right?
Where were? Sorry,
Yes.
All right.
And
So
we went on
we went on
a great.
A great
a
safari.
great safari. Here,
No
The.
article.
Safari.
The.
Safari.
all right, some people may say no article, some people say the safari was in Kenya. And we
No
saw,
article. No articles.
all right,
No
and
article.
no articles in any?
Yes, no
Yes.
article and book.
No articles.
No article.
All right, up close. Experience was great.
The.
Experience.
The experience was great. Okay, so far, I think you are good, good. Here
The only
The
problem.
only problem
Problem.
was my husband. Was bitten by
A mosquito.
Mosquito.
a mosquito, but since we had taken malaria medicine before we came,
Article.
No article.
all right.
No, I don't know.
Dr.
article.
Matuka said he would be okay. Love, glory. All right, we are going to go back to this and we are going to check, and I'm going to tell you what are the correct answers. All right, but before going and before checking this, let's go to the explanation on when to use the articles. All right, so take a look. Here we have, as I said to you before, we have two types of articles. We have indefinite articles and definite articles. Now, let's begin with the indefinite one. Which are the indefinite articles? Can you tell me? What are the indefinite articles, guys? You have a great machete on the screen.
Eh.
All right. The indefinite articles are a and. So when do we use those? This is the normal explanation on how we should use them, right? So when we don't have a particular person, like a person in a specific, right? A place or thing, a place in a specific, or an object or a thing in a specific, in mind, we use a non-specific, we use non-specific nouns. Again, it can be any, right? So for example, if I say a computer, am I specifying a type of computer or one computer in no, right? In a specific, no, I'm speaking about one computer, but it can be any computer, right? Not one in a specific. So that's why we use indefinite articles. So use the indefinite article with non-specific singular count nouns. Remember that this is only for singular. So take a look at here. We have this picture. This is a baby lion. So take a look at what it says here. I love to hold a baby lion. Is he specifying what lion he has in mind? Is he saying that he wants to hold this baby lion that is right here, or just any in general? Any baby lion?
In general.
Yes, right? It's just any baby lion. He's not speaking about a specific one. Good. So that's why we use a. Now, the other use of it is like we use it often. We use a noun is often indefinite the first time a speaker mentions it. And you usually use the definite one when it has already been mentioned. So for example, here, we say, we went on a safari last year. This is the first time that the person or the first time that I am mentioning the safari, right? So we went on a safari. Am I specifying which safari I went to? No, right?
No.
No.
I'm just speaking about the first time I mentioned the safari. But you already know that I went to a safari. And if I continue speaking about a safari, what safari do you think I'm going to be speaking about? This safari or another one?
The safari.
This safari, right? So as I am going to be continuing speaking about a safari, this is, and I'm going to continue mentioning it like a second time, a third time, a fourth time, then this, which is general, stop being non-specific and becomes a specific. Here is like kind of general, and here is more specific, because now I am not talking about any safari, I'm talking about one safari in a specific. Which one? The safari I went to. The safari I went to, right? Because you could, I mean, maybe I am speaking about a safari that I watch on TV, right? Or maybe I'm speaking about a safari that a friend of mine went to, right? But not about mine. Then I went to the safari in Africa, for example, then I am speaking about a very specific one. So this is what we what I mean by first mention and second mention. So for example, if you say, guys, I want to buy a phone, but then I continue speaking about phone, right? I want to buy the phone. The phone has to be the best phone in the world. It's the same, right? The first time I said I want to buy a phone, I was speaking about any phone. I mean, not a phone in particular. But then when I say the phone has to be the most, I mean, the best phone in the world, then I spoke about a particular one, right? I went from a general view to a very specific view. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, let's continue then. First mention and second mention. Now, when we don't use any article, take a look. We use zero article or no article with non-specific plural count nouns and non-specific non-count nouns, right? For example, meerkats are very interesting animals to watch. Listen, when I say meerkats, I'm not speaking about day two, am I? Am I speaking when I say meerkats? Am I speaking about only day two, or not?
No.
No, right?
No.
I'm speaking about a non-specific amount of meerkats, right? So again, I am going very specific. When we have this kind of things, and when we make, like I would say, yeah, when we make it general, when we generalize this kind of things, we don't use article. So let's move on. Let's move on. Here, for example, hippos feel at home in water. I am speaking about one hippo, two hippos, or three hippos in a specific, or just I'm generalizing all hippos?
General.
In general.
All right, I am generalizing all of them. I'm speaking a non-specified or non-specific amount of hippos, right? So I use no articles. Good, let's continue. Look, non-specific. And here, well, all of them are non-specific. Oh, and I also have a second example here, sorry. They feel like home in water. When I speak about water, right, you know that we cannot use the article the or any other article with water, because water is uncountable. We cannot say the water or one water, two waters, three waters, right? So it also works with non-countable nouns, just like in this example. He pulls a fuel home in water. Now, again, let's continue with the generic nouns. So here, the generic nouns, right? When it represents all member, right? All the members, as I said before, like we are generalizing, not a specific amount of. I mean, I'm not speaking about a group, right? It's like, for example, if I say, the students in Johan's class, is that correct or not?
No.
Why not?
The students.
Yes, the students in Johan's class.
Sounds weird. No. I don't know.
¿Qué piensan ustedes? ¿En esa oración está correcto decir the o no?
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary. ¿Por qué creen ustedes que no es necesario? A ver.
Porque students está en plural, según la reglita. No se puede, pero yo sí he escuchado que dicen the student.
Ok, entonces, ¿cuándo se usa de y cuándo no se usa de? Es el problema, ¿cierto? En el ejemplo que yo estoy diciendo, recuerden, les acabo de decir que cuando hablamos de generic nouns o cuando generalizamos o hablamos no es de una cantidad no específica, no usamos el artículo. Pero cuando no generalizamos, sino que hablamos de una cantidad específica, sí usamos el artículo. ¿A qué me refiero con esto? Nuevamente, los estudiantes en la clase de Johan. The students in Johan's class. ¿Puedo yo contar los estudiantes en Johan's class?
Claro.
Yes.
¿Me estoy refiriendo a una cantidad específica de estudiantes?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Sí, los estudiantes en la clase de Johan. Por lo tanto, en ese caso, yo sí podría usar, de hecho, sí tengo que usar the. All right? So, the students in Johan's class. Pero si yo me refiero a los estudiantes del planeta Tierra, ¿puedo yo contar esa cantidad? ¿Puedo ser específico allí?
No.
Listo.
No.
Entonces, los estudiantes tienen que ser responsables. En esa oración tendría que usar the students have to be responsible o
No.
students have to be responsible.
The students.
En ese caso, cuando generalizamos, cuando hablamos acerca, como dice aquí, when it represents all members of a class or category, right? We use no article. And this is how we say here, like cheetahs are predatory animals. No estamos hablando acerca de ni de esta cheetah, ni del grupo de cheetahs, sino de todas las cheetahs del planeta Tierra, right? I'm speaking about all of them. So here, a cheetah is a predatory animal. ¿Estoy hablando en general también o no? Guys.
Sí.
Sí.
Yes, right? But what is the difference between this and this? This is not specific. It's never specific. Why is not specific? Because I am speaking about all right? What is a? A is an article, as I said before, that shows you a non-specific noun. In this case, a cheetah. I'm not speaking about a cheetah in particular, like that one or this one or this one. No, I'm speaking about I'm speaking about generally about any cheetah, right? But what is the difference between number one and number two? The number one, I am using a plural noun. I'm speaking about all of them. And here, I am not speaking about all of them. I'm speaking about any of them. Aquí estoy hablando acerca de todos, y aquí estoy hablando acerca de cualquiera, right? Cualquiera, cualquier cheetah. That's the difference between them. So here is plural and here is singular. And both refer to a generic noun itself. We have another example here. Take a look. Water.
Teacher.
Yes, mister.
Por ejemplo, cuando para mencionar una compañía, por ejemplo, Colpatria y etcétera.
Ese es otro caso, right? Ese es otro caso. Estamos hablando acaso aquí en este momento, en esta diapositiva, estamos hablando solamente de los casos genéricos. De pronto, si estás hablando de una compañía, está siendo bastante específico, ¿cierto? Sin embargo, pasa algunas cosas, ¿right? Pero ya vamos a llegar allá. Esa es otra manera donde no usar ¿cómo es? El artículo, ¿right? But hasta el momento solamente estamos hablando de generalizaciones. Cuando tú generalizas algo o hablas de algo de manera general, pues normalmente suprimes o no usas el artículo. O si simplemente vas a hablar también de manera general, pero te refieres a cualquiera de ese tipo o cualquiera de esa categoría, puedes usar a, right? A o an, cualquiera de los dos. So take a look at the last example here. Water is essential for our animals to survive. Cuando me refiero a water is essential, ¿me refiero a una clase específica de agua o simplemente a agua en general?
Agua en general.
Agua en
Yes,
general.
right? Agua en general. So, this is it. Nuevamente repito, cuando hablamos de algo en general, de todos los miembros o de todo lo que representa eso, sin una cantidad en específico, o si referirnos a una cantidad en específico, ¿qué sucede en inglés? No usamos el artículo the, all right? I think that was clear. Let's continue then with the next part. Yes.
For example, people.
Okay. People, I can say people are great, but I am speaking about all people in the world, right? But let's say that I am speaking about the people in my classroom. The people, right? Why the people? Porque me estoy refiriendo a una cantidad.
Un grupo específico de personas.
Específico, exacto. A un grupo específico de personas. A una cantidad de personas que son fácilmente contables. Pero cuando digo people, ya me refiero a toda la gente en general del mundo, right? So that's the difference. It's pretty much, I mean, it's easy to recognize when to be general and when to be specific. All right, let's move on. ¿Cuándo más no se debería usar el artículo? This is another one. We use zero article before names of people or their titles, names of countries, or habitual locations. So for example, we have here a girl, and Kania spends 4 hours a week at work and 2 days a week in school. Take a look. Kania is, Kanika. Is Kanika a name? Yo puedo decir la Cánica o simplemente Cánica. O puedo decir el Anthony, la Cynthia, o simplemente Anthony o Cynthia.
Solo Anthony o Cynthia.
All right? Sounds so weird to say the Cánica o the Cynthia.
Pero no se puede decir la Yurani y el Brian.
I mean, those are all the types, right? Those are all the types. But those are things that don't, I mean, that, how can I say this? They have been attached to the language, but they are not grammatically correct, right? Here, she spends 4 hours a day, I mean, 4 days a week at work. What is at work? Estamos hablando de su trabajo, el trabajo, aunque en español si usamos el trabajo. In English, we never say the work, right? We say work, at work. Here, and 2 days in a week, I mean 2 days a week in school. ¿Qué es school? También es un lugar. So when we speak about habitual locations, we don't say the school, we say school. O por ejemplo, yo voy los domingos a la iglesia. We don't say I go. On Sundays I go to the church. No, we say to church, right? So we drop the article in this set of cases, right? Now, Let's continue. Take a look at the man. This is the Ambassador Mukasa, all the way around. Now, what is this? This is
name?
no. Mukasa is his name. And what is this?
El título.
Name.
El título, right? So, por ejemplo, en el caso mío, yo soy el profesor Johan, right? ¿Cuál sería mi título? Profesor. Entonces, ¿qué pasa en inglés? ¿Cómo me dicen? The teacher Johan or teacher Johan?
Teacher Johan.
That's it, right? No more. You are not supposed to say the teacher Johan. ¿Por qué no se usa the? Porque están usando antes del nombre, están usando un título. Lo mismo pasa con doctor, con cualquier título, right? So, el doctor José. So you don't say the doctor José. You say doctor José, right? Straight, sin el artículo. Let's continue. Was born in Tanzania. Name of most of countries. Los nombres de la mayoría de los países. Tanzania is a country and we don't use the. Es como decir, no usamos de Colombia. We say only Colombia, right? Pero, ¿por qué digo la mayoría? Porque hay algunos que sí usan the. Por ejemplo, ¿me pueden dar uno?
The United States.
All right, the USA, the United States, the United Kingdom, right? The Bahamas, those are things that use the, right? Good. Here, but spend most of his life in Kenya, another country, right? In the Kenya, no, in Kenya. So, let's continue. Where do you go? Wait. All right, let's try to practice a little bit here. Here. Yeah, I see them. Let's get closer and take a picture. So this is like the continuation of this, right? Good. So take a look. Use a definite article with nouns that describe something unique. What do I mean by something unique? I mean something that only, when there is only one of its type. For example, yo puedo decir una luna o la luna.
La luna.
All right.
La luna.
The moon, right? Why the moon? Because there is only one moon, right? Only one moon, and is something unique, right? So take a look. Kenya and the equator. Do you know what the equator is? You know, la línea del Ecuador.
Yes.
So you got it. Nanyuki, Kenya, is located on the equator. The equator. How many equators are there in the world?
Only one.
Only one, right? So is a unique object, right? Well, it could be a unique object and unique noun.
I can say the line, the equator, o sea, completo.
The equator line, yes, but you just, it is not necessary. When you say equator, you're referring to that.
Okay.
Right? So, no es como en español que normalmente pues se podría confundir con el país, ¿no? Pues es diferente. Now, let's continue. All right, an adjective can often make a noun represent something unique. Example of such are right or wrong, first or only. So when you have right, wrong, first and only, you can use normally the comparative form of the superlative form, and they are most likely accompanied by the. For example, the giraffe is eaten. The giraffe is eaten, right? The first. Aquí hay 3 jirafas, ¿cierto? Pero con el simple hecho de agregarle, right, en este caso, un adjetivo. ¿Cuál es el adjetivo? Primero, estoy refiriéndome a una. Con esto estoy haciendo de que esta jirafa sea única, right? No me estoy refiriendo a ninguna de las otras, solamente me estoy refiriendo a una jirafa en específico. So the first giraffe is eaten. Only one, right? Only one. Which one? This one, right? Only that one. Now this is the unique adjective that is like telling you that is unique. Another example is with the superlative form, that you know that we always use the, like, that is the tallest jet of the ever seen. The tallest. Can I just use zero article here? I mean, no, right? It's impossible because we are using superlative and we always have to use the right here. This is for the superlative. And well, where else do we have, or we should use the definite article? So when it's used with names of public places, some countries, and many geographical regions or features. So for example, take a look. I went to the library. I went to the library. I am speaking about a public place. Or when you say here, okay, here, most names of countries or most names of geographical regions, like here, Kenya is located along the Indian Ocean, right? Indian Ocean. Oceano here. The Indian Ocean, right? Most of the geographical regions. Or for example, here, I am speaking about some countries that have, like we were saying before, the United States, the United Kingdom. Here we have another one. My friends from the Netherlands, los Países Bajos, right, are visiting Tanzania this year. Now we have here like the two versions. Here, Tanzania is also a country, but we have no the. But here we use the Netherlands and we use the, right? So these countries that use the, they are so few. We don't have so many of them. And well, let's see how you do it. Here, remember this? This is the first letter in the first slide. So take a look and try to do it one more time. Now, we took what?
The most.
All right, the most wonderful trip last month. We went on a great safari. Then
The
safari.
The safari was in Kenya, and we saw
no articles.
no lions and no article close up. The experience was great.
The only problem.
Okay, only está haciendo ese problema único, right? Específico. The only problem was my husband was beaten
By a mosquito.
by a mosquito. By a mosquito. ¿Están especificando cuál mosquito cuál mosquito fue el que lo picó? ¿Sería eso posible hacerlo? No, right?
Está diciendo cualquier mosquito.
Exacto, cualquiera. Uno de cualquier tipo, right? Uno de ese tipo. Good. But since we had taken malaria medicine before, we came.
No article.
No article, right? So guys, is this clear when to use and when to use no article? It's pretty much easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much easy. All right, great. So this was the first part of today's topics, right? Which is going to be the second one. Let me show it to you. I had already told you that it was going to be quantifiers, right? But before going on those quantifiers, let's go back to the book. Where is the book? The book is right here. Now, take a look at here. We have here like a read the paragraph, and here we have some things like the parents. So these are like the rules that we have already done, right? The ones that are underlined. So take a look right here. And now with these rules, the one that we have already learned, let's do exercise 4, right? So this is it. Complete the sentence below with a, and, they, or no article. So there you go. Number 1, my neighbor has
A cat.
a cat that climbs through my window and terrorizes my goldfish. All right, good. 2, my neighbor is
A writer.
a writer. He writes a gossip column and he keeps to himself. Good. I have
The
the nicest neighbor in the world. She invites me over for cake and coffee. Here.
no article.
All right, we're speaking about all of them in general. People are funny. My neighbor ignored me for years. Now he'll chat all day. My neighbor is
An
old lady.
an old lady who made friends with us as soon as we moved in. My neighbor plays the drums. He's a nice man, but I hate all
article.
noise or all
The noise.
noise.
The noise.
All right. My neighbor is from
Mexico.
No article.
no article. And she cooks amazing Mexican food. My best friend, 8, right, lives next door. She's
Not
a plumber. Article, plumber, right? Plumber. So very good, guys. You did it very, very good. Take a look. These are the answers. All right, now let's move to the next part. Let me see. This is it. Yeah, this is it. The next part is which one? Take a look.
Pero ahí, en México yo de.
No,
Y ahí está.
I'm sorry. No, no. My neighbor is from Mexico. I'm sorry, this is incorrect here. All right. Let's see if we can we do it here?
Sí, iba arriba en el 6 y el,
Yeah.
y el no article iba en el
Yeah, this one goes here, all the noise, and this one is with the article. You know, I hadn't realized about it. All right, there's a mistake there. Good. Take a look at the next part. The next one is quantifiers. Now, do you have any idea of what are quantifiers? Like, can you tell me a quantifier? Like, what do you understand by quantifier? Maybe a word that tells you the quantity of something, right? A quantifier. In Spanish, cuantificador, right? Es decir, una palabra que te dice la cantidad de algo. ¿Cuáles son ese tipo de palabras en inglés? Could you tell me? Here you have a machete. Take a look. Lots of. Plenty of. Here.
A few.
A few of. Here.
Half no.
No. En el caso no significa ninguno, right? Here there are all those tales of people. Which one do you think is here?
All those.
All, right? Que te explica la cantidad, good. And he has so many.
Many.
Got it, right? So those are quantifiers, right? Those are quantifiers. And that's what we are going to do right now, guys. We're going to work on quantifiers. But before going on quantifiers, we need to check on this. Countable nouns and uncountable nouns, right? So we can go to quantifiers. So can you see this slide presentation, by the way?
Yes.
Great. Countable and uncountable nouns. So let's get started. Let's then begin with the countable nouns. You already know what countable nouns are. So countable nouns, like for example, I eat a banana every day and I like bananas. How do you know that it's countable? Because we normally add s, right, to the singular noun, and it becomes plural. In other words, a countable noun is a noun that can be pluralized, all right? That can be plural. That's clear because we all know what countable nouns are, right? So let's move on. So a countable noun can be singular, a banana, right? A banana, and plural. In this case, 1, 2, 3 bananas. A countable noun is something that you can count easily. So 1 banana, 2 bananas, 3 bananas, 4 bananas, 1,000 bananas, right? You can count them, right? Good. So these are examples of countable nouns. So take a look here. We have an apple, but we can say 3 apples. A pineapple, but we can say 2 pineapples. Now, a cucumber, but you can say 3 cucumbers. 3 cucumbers. A strawberry, and here 3 strawberries. No, strawberries.
Strawberries.
1 grape and 1,000 grapes. I don't know how many grapes are there here. All right. So many grapes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, 10, maybe 50 grapes, right? Good. So these are nouns that you can count, right? Now, there are some rules, you know. Sometimes we have like the nouns that finishes in O, like for example, tomato and potato. Both, when they finish in O, when they make the plural form, you have to add es. Not only s, like in the previous one, right? Only s, and s. Here, you have to add es, all right? So we say tomatoes. 1 tomato. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 potatoes. 1 potato, 2 potatoes, right? But you know that in English there are always exceptions. Like for example, radio. You're not going to say 2 radios, but with es, right? Like this. No, here we just add the normal s. And photo, 2 photos, normal s. And you know that we also have other type of countable nouns, like for example, hombres, hombre, hombres, but those types are irregular nouns that they are, even though they are countable, the plural form is made different, like man and the plural man. So man. A man and 2 men. You don't have to say 2 men's with s, no, 2 men, right? So those are the type of countable nouns that we have. And now, what are the countable nouns? The countable nouns are nouns like this. Obviously, nouns that cannot be counted. And as they cannot be counted, they cannot be in a plural form. So, I eat a bowl of rice every day. Rice. I drink a bottle of milk. Milk, right? She buys a packet of tea. And she has a cup of coffee for breakfast. Coffee. Rice is an uncountable noun. Now, let me ask you, can you count rice? Guys, can you count rice? No, right? No. You cannot count rice. So how do we do to count this kind of uncountable nouns, like to make rice countable, to make milk countable, to make tea countable, to make coffee countable? Then we have to use another type of things, but they are never going to be countable, right? They are always going to be countable nouns. Let me explain to you in a minute how to use it. So as rice is an uncountable noun, the only way to make this countable is by using measuring units. What are measuring units? Things like a kilo, a liter, a gram, or also by using containers. Like for example, here. ¿Qué es esto? No el arroz, sino...
Una taza de arroz.
Una taza, un plato.
All right, una taza de arroz. Si se dan cuenta, en español decimos una taza de arroz. Puedo decir, si yo coloco aquí 2 tazas de arroz más, ¿cómo serían? ¿Serían 3 tazas de arroz? O 3 tazas de arroces.
No.
De arroz,
Porque es
right?
el mismo arroz.
So we can, when we use the container, then we can somehow count a countable noun. Even though we're not counting the countable noun, we're counting the container, all right? The same thing happens here. Maybe I can say, this is a kilo of rice. This is a kilo of rice, right? Or like in the examples before, take a look. A bowl of rice. Un tazón de arroz. A bowl of rice. A bottle of. ¿Qué son entonces estos? A bowl of, a bottle of, a packet of, and a cup of. Estos son los que le acabo de decir.
Container.
Containers, right? These are containers. And how, I mean, and which or what are uncountable nouns? They are not, I mean, uncountable nouns are normally liquids like water, food like bread, materials like iron, and ideas like anger, love, and stuff like this. Those are things that you cannot count, all right? I mean, this is something you already know, and this is just like a review. Sorry. These are examples of countable nouns. There you got it. A salad dressing, paper. The paper cannot be countable, right? Take a look. This is not countable.
Paper is uncountable.
Yes, it's uncountable means. You cannot say, I have a paper. Well, you can say paper. Bueno, les explico. Puede ser contable y no contable. ¿Cuándo es contable? Cuando ustedes dicen un papel, pero no se refieren exactamente a una hoja, sino más bien a un trabajo que tengan. Por ejemplo, yo a ustedes les dejo a veces que me hagan unos ensayos, cosas como esas, trabajos donde que se hacen en papel,
no puede decir
¿cierto?
que tengo dos ensayos, dos trabajos.
Por eso,
Papers.
cuando I got some papers to do, en ese caso se vuelve contable, right? I got some papers to do. I got some papers to do for Johan, right? I got some work to do for Johan.
Profe, pero una pregunta.
Yes.
Ensayo no se dice de otra forma, o sea, ensayo como tal escrito.
Ensayo.
Yo recuerdo que nos dijeron como en segundo nivel que se decía de forma diferente.
Es essay. Ensayo se dice essay, right? Pero lo que me refiero es, no me estoy dando el ejemplo de que un ensayo, de que sea nada más un ensayo. Puede ser un trabajo, puede ser de pronto un taller, puede ser lo que sea. El punto es que es un trabajo a realizar, right?
Y hoja como tal, creo que sheep, ese sí es contable.
Ese sí es contable. Pero cuando me refiero como tal a esa clase de trabajos, me estoy dando el ejemplo como un ensayo, entonces en ese caso tú puedes, en ese caso sí sería contable. I got some papers to do, right? I got some papers to do. Paper también puede ser contable o se puede pluralizar cuando se refiere a documentos, right? So for example, I got some documents to fill in. Tengo unos documentos que llenar. I got some papers to fill in. Some papers to fill in, right? There you got it. Pero cuando hablamos de una hoja de papel, like this, then you cannot say one paper, two papers. No, you cannot say that, right? In this case, you have to say a piece of paper and two pieces of paper, right? And one sheet, two sheets, right? Ya como decía Miss Miranda, cuando hablamos de no exactamente papel, sino hoja, bueno, la palabra hoja sí es contable, una hoja, dos hojas, tres hojas, right? But cuando hablamos de papel, tenemos que usar la palabra piece of. Hang on.
O sea, no se cuenta el papel, sino la hoja de papel.
Exactamente. En el caso del papel, tendría que ser a piece, sorry. Como una pieza de papel. A piece of, right? A piece of paper. Like, when you say, hey guys, take out a piece of paper. Yo creo que ustedes han escuchado siempre eso, especialmente cuando tienen quizzes en la universidad o cualquier otro lugar, right? Take out a piece of paper. We're gonna have a pop quiz, right? A piece of paper. Entonces, ¿cómo cuento yo dos papeles? Two.
Twice.
Hang on.
2 pieces.
Right,
Of
yes.
paper.
We have to do it here, sorry. I'm going to, hang on. Oh, what's that? Clear all drawings, come to test, and then you say 2, in plural, right? Pieces of paper. Like this, right? But paper is uncountable. Paper is uncountable. Now let's continue. Now that you know that paper is uncountable, that you didn't know, right? Ham, aluminium, and milk are also uncountable nouns. Now, remember that I said here, let me check it. Let me go back here. Materials, right? El material. Los materiales normalmente son incontables. So, en este caso, estamos hablando de una hoja, el objeto, pero la hoja de qué está hecha. Dice hoja de papel, right? Paper. That's how we do it. So the material itself. Now let's continue. These are the first 2 quantifiers that we are going to have. When we speak about quantifiers, then we have to be careful. We have to be thinking on singular form and the plural form, right? So when we get quantifiers, for example, we can use either in the plural and in the singular form the following quantifier, some. What is the meaning of some? Can you tell me?
Algunos.
Algunos o algunas, right? So take a look. There is some meat or cheese in the fridge. Now, these are non-countable nouns. And there are some rulers or pencils on the desk, countable noun. So when we speak about the quantifiers and the use of them, in this case, some can be used for both, for singular and plural, for countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So, hay poco, en este caso con un sentido de algo, de poquito, right? De una pequeña cantidad. Hay un poco de carne o un poco de queso en el refrigerador. Y aquí hay algunas reglas y algunos lápices en el escritorio, right? So, this is what we have here. Some.
Pero son, se usa son cuando no sabes exactamente la cantidad de reglas y lápices que hay.
Exactamente, pero con el sentido de una pequeña cantidad, no muchos. Si tú ves muchos, una cantidad, no vas a decir, oh, there are some there. No, because hay muchísimos. What do you have to do? There are a lot, right? Para eso son los quantifiers. So, tenemos quantifiers para cada cantidad. Para poca cantidad, para mucha cantidad, para una cantidad media, right? Normalmente some se usa para poca y media. There you go. Any. When do we use any? Well, the same than some. For uncountable nouns and countable nouns. For the singular and the plural. But different from some is used in the positive form, and any is used in questions and also in the negative form. So there isn't any milk and there aren't any dishes under the bed, right? So let's take a small quiz here. Let's see how you do it, all right? Put the correct form of the given words. That you get the given words right here. Let me do this here. So, number 1, John is eating some
potatoes.
Potatoes, right? Good. Is there any?
Water.
Water, right? Because water is uncountable. Mother says, Google, please give me some what?
Ice of jam.
Some jam. Jam is uncountable, right?
¿Qué jam?
There are some
Fishes.
Boom. La palabra fish no es contable. Cuando esté en el profe, pero sin el
primer nivel.
Profe, pero sin el mar o no sé qué, hay muchos pescados. Yeah, there are many fish. there aren't many fishes. It's only many fish, right? Fish.
Fishes es...
No, no se puede, no se puede.
No. Espérese, ¿cuál es el que es el verbo? El verbo de pescar.
Fish.
Fish.
Fish, esa es la tercera persona.
Fish.
Pero el verbo
Bueno.
como tal, digo, sustantivo, cuando se refiere al animal,
Okay.
right? No,
Yeah.
no es plural. You can say fishes. Oh,
Yo hay una rara.
a fish, 2 fishes, 3 fishes, 4 fishes. No, you say fish. That's it. No
Ya
more.
estamos hablando de diferentes tipos de peces.
Allí sí se podría usar, right?
Porque estás hablando de los tipos de
De
peces.
los
y
tipos,
de
no del
peces
pez.
son
Estás contando el
Ah.
tipo, no el pez. Right?
Ok. Bien. Excelente.
Now,
Gracias.
number 5. There aren't any
tomatoes.
Tomato.
right, tomatoes on the table because it's countable, right? Good. Now, use some or any. 1. There is not
Any.
I'm sorry,
Any.
there is not any sugar. Good.
Any.
There are
Some.
some stars in the sky. Good. There aren't
Any.
any roses on the table. Father says, please give me
Some.
some oil. Is there
Any.
any orange juice? Recuerda que any se usa también en preguntas.
Ah, yes.
Aunque chicos, some también se puede usar en preguntas. Pero normalmente la diferencia entre ellos dos, entre preguntas, en preguntas es que usamos some cuando ustedes ofrecen algo a alguien. Por ejemplo, si ustedes están en mi casa y quieren tomar agua y yo veo que están sedientos, yo les ofrezco agua a ustedes, yo les digo, oh, would you like to have some water? Eso es una pregunta, pero como yo les estoy ofreciendo, uso some, right? Pero si nada más no les estoy ofreciendo, right? Entonces se usa
Do you have any with water?
all right. Do you have any water? Eso es más, eso en vez de un ofrecimiento es más como una petición, ¿cierto? Do you have any water? But I would like to give you some water. Or would you like some water? Es diferente. All right? Oh.
Okay.
Lo puse. There is some paper on the desk. All right, good. But these are the first 2 quantifiers that we
Pero
have.
espera, ¿cuál es entonces la diferencia? Any es, o sea, any y some es lo mismo, pero any es normalmente para preguntas y negaciones, y some es cuando no haces preguntas y negaciones.
Some se usa básicamente para la forma afirmativa, any para la forma interrogativa y negativa. Some también se puede usar en la forma afirmativa o interrogativa, pero solamente para una situación en específico. Y esa es cuando tú ofreces algo a alguien, exactamente, para ofrecer algo. Del resto de los casos se usa any todo el tiempo.
Profe, pero una pregunta, ¿habrá algún...?
Yes.
Porque yo a veces he visto oraciones en las que me confundo un poco cuando no sé si... O sea, no sé, hay que oraciones que yo veo que me confunden cuando yo no sé si está clara la idea de ofrecer algo. ¿No tiene algún ejemplo de eso por ahí?
Normalmente un ofrecimiento es algo que tú le das a alguien, que tú le dices a alguien. Entonces, no esperes un ofrecimiento de una persona diciéndotelo a ti. En ese caso ya no se transformaría, ya no sería un ofrecimiento, sino como una petición. Aunque una persona te puede ofrecer algo, lógicamente, right? Pero a lo que me refiero es que, listo, digamos lo siguiente. Tú y yo nos encontramos en la calle, mister. Y porque teníamos rato que no veíamos para hablar y la cosa, right? Yo te digo si te gustaría tomar una cerveza, por ejemplo. En ese caso, ¿te parecería eso un ofrecimiento o no?
Claro.
Entonces, cuando yo te ofrezco en ese caso, en esa pregunta, ¿qué debería usar? ¿Any o some? Debería usar some, right? Entonces, hey, would you like to get some beers, for example? Do you get to get some beer? Yes or no, right? Ahí yo te estoy ofreciendo. Pero, digamos que yo no te voy a ofrecer nada a ti, sino que yo te digo, let's say, nos encontramos nuevamente, pero esta vez, let's say I say something like, hey, it would be nice to have any beer sometime, right? En ese caso yo no te estoy ofreciendo nada. En este caso simplemente te estoy hablando de algo en general, right?
Sí, sí.
Entonces, eso más que todo se refiere a la situación. Si tú como tal entiendes, mister, la situación de cuándo es un ofrecimiento y cuándo no, pues vas a saber cuándo usar some en una pregunta. Ojo, estoy hablando nada más de las preguntas, all right? Porque some se puede usar, como ya saben, en manera afirmativa. Pero cuando la usamos o lo usamos en una pregunta, lo usamos básicamente para hacer un ofrecimiento. Entonces, si tú tienes claro cuándo es un ofrecimiento, cuando la situación es un ofrecimiento, pues vas a saber usar some. All right, so let's continue, guys, with this. Great. So we have already seen some and any, right? So those are quantifiers, like here, some and any. What is another quantifier? Another quantifier is, take a look, we have it here. It is a lot of. What is the meaning of a lot of, people?
Como un poco, ¿no?
Mucho, to be honest,
mucho.
right? A lot of means mucho. And all of this, some, any, and a lot of are used for countable and uncountable nouns. You can use them with both, no problem. Take a look at the example here. There are a lot of cars in Manchester. A lot of cars, this is a countable noun. There is a lot of pollution in the capital. Pollution, a non-countable noun, right? So here in the case of a lot of, we can use also, let me do this, let me put it here, the following one, lots of. This is pretty much similar to a lot of, but the difference between a lot of and lots of is the way it is written. As you can see here, you say a lot of, right? We're using a. But in the second one here, we are not using a, we are using s, lots, right? Lots of. Now you can use this only in one, I mean, here you can use it for plural in general, right? And you can also use it here. Like for example, you can exchange this here, right? But this is only for countable. Now, here I'm using a lot of for countable and uncountable. We use lots of basically for countable nouns. Like for example, there are, I'm gonna write the example here so that you can see it. There are lots of cars, right? I guess you can see right here is the same, right? Is the same than the first example. There are a lot of cars in Manchester. There are lots of cars in Manchester, right? So you can exchange it if you want to. The one you feel more comfortable with, that is the one that you can use, right? A lot of or lots of. In my case, for example, I feel better using a lot of. Why? Because it's for both countable and also uncountable, right? But lots of is basically used with only countable, not for uncountable. So I better like this one because I can use this for everything, right? But you know that you can also use this one too if you want to. Now, here, all the quantifiers that we have are many and a few, right? Any and a few. We can say few or a few, right? Take a look. Countable. I mean, we only use them for countable nouns. We cannot use them for uncountable nouns. So take a look. Are there many books in the library? Are there many books in that library? Many means, you know, is countable, mucho. Muchos o muchas. Here, a few. A few means, what is the meaning of few?
Poco.
Poco. Pocos o pocas, right? Poco. Good. Not really. Just a few ones. Yeah, there are a few, right? Now, take a look here. Few and a few, meaning just a very small quantity. In the case of a lot of, we have a big quantity or a big amount of something. When we use some or any, we have a medium quantity of something, right? A medium quantity or a small quantity. But when we use a few, we say a very small quantity of something. Now, the same thing, but the uncountable version would be much and little or a little. So, is there much honey in the jar? Now, honey is an uncountable noun, and we say much, right? No, actually, there isn't much, or yes, there is a little. Again, a little means a very small quantity of something. A much means a, a huge or a big quantity of something. Something that you gotta take into account, guys. Many and much, most of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, right? Most of the time, they have a negative meaning, right? And we normally use them in a negative form, right? Or accompanied with a negative meaning. So for example, if I say, I have many students, maybe that has a negative meaning. It means that the students, maybe the normal amount is 20 and I have 40. I have many students, right? So that is maybe has a negative meaning. So is this clear? Some, any, lots of, many, and a few, much, and little? Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Right. And these are quantifiers. So in other words, are words like this that tells you a quantity of something. Like if it's a very small quantity, if it's a small quantity or a medium quantity, or if it's a big quantity of something. So let's practice a little bit here. Clear all drawings. There you go. So the first one, use much or many. I don't have much or many.
Much.
Much free time, right? Why much? Because time, free time, this is uncountable. They're adding many good restaurants. How?
Many.
How many kilos? You can count the kilos. Do you eat?
Much.
Much Indian food. The food is uncountable. Did your iPad cost?
Much.
Much. Good. How?
Much.
Many.
All right. How much red meat? Meat, la carne, es comida, y es incontable. 7. How?
How much?
How much sugar do you add to your coffee? I don't drink
Much
coffee, right? See, very good. You're very good. Now let's do this one right here. Use few, little, or a lot of. Then she eats.
A lot of.
All right. A lot of meat, but very.
Few.
No. Good.
No.
Very few selects, right?
Yeah.
Few selects. Yeah, possible. Yeah. 2. I've got.
A lot of.
All right. A lot of is also possible, right? It's also possible.
Okay.
So no problem. I've got a lot of CDs or a few CDs, but very little space. Good. No, I did it. All right. He does very little. He does very little housework and watches And
A
watches?
lot of.
A lot of
A lot of.
TV. Good. 4, I've got
Little.
Few.
all
A
right.
few.
Time. Can you count time?
Little.
No.
A little.
Oh, little.
A very
Yes.
little
Little.
time. And
A lot of.
A lot of things to do.
a lot of things to do. Good. Or you can say why not, and a few things to do. Why not? But in this case, the meaning would be a lot, you know, it makes more sense. 5, we recycle. We recycle
Few.
a lot of rubbish, and we use
Very little.
little water.
Little.
Now, Miss, dijiste few, aquí también es posible decir few, right? Hang on. No, porque la basura, no. En este caso, si dices basura, tendría que ser con poco, tendría que ser little también. We recycle little rubbish and use very little water, right? Porque la basura no es contable. All right. So guys, is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. So these are quantifiers. Now, when we have uncountable nouns, we can use, remember, we can use containers. For example, a bar of, a bowl of, a carton of, a gram of, a packet of, a loaf of, a bottle of, a can of, a cup of, a cup of, a jar of, a piece of, and a kilo of. Y puedes seguir inventando más, right? So, this is how, take a look at the questions. I want you to answer these questions to me, all right? So, how many bottles of beer can you see? Where? In this picture. How many bottles of beer can you see? How many bottles of beer can you see?
One.
One, right? Right here. Now, when I say bottle of beer, am I counting the beer, the liquid, or the bottle?
The bottle.
The bottle, right? The container again. 2, how many balloons are there on the table? Balloons.
What is balloon?
4.
Balloons, globos.
4
4.
balloons.
All right, there are 4 balloons. Good. How many plastic glasses are there?
Mm, 10. 1.
There are 10 plastic glasses.
All right, I am going to accept it, but there are 17 glasses.
What?
I accept because maybe you cannot see it very
Many.
properly. All right, here. Is there much food? Is there much food?
Yes.
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 Right. Is there much orange juice? Is there much orange juice? Yes or no?
Only one.
Actually, yes, take a look, only one. So is there much? No, there isn't much, because the rest are maybe beer and other kind of beverages, of liquids. Here, are there many people?
Yes.
Yes,
So
there
many
are.
people.
There are many people, or there are a lot of people, right? And here, are there many elderly people?
What is elderly?
Viejitos people?
Yes.
All right. Elderly is the way we say old people, personas de, ¿cómo es? Personas de edad.
De la tercera edad.
Yeah, something like this, right? Elderly people. All right, good. So as you can see here, you were using the quantifiers, right? So like many, much, any, the other. Yes? Do you have any question?
Con people no se usa much.
No. How many people are there? Las personas son contables. Yo puedo decir una persona, dos personas, tres personas, cuatro personas.
Pero eso no es con person.
No, you can say how many people, right? How many people are there in this classroom? Like for example here. How many people are there here?
Si no fuera con many.
Si fuera persons, recuerden que persons, ojo, esto es algo que se tiene que tener en cuenta. Persons también se puede, ¿cierto? Plural. Pero cuando hacemos person es máximo 3 personas, no se pasa de eso, un grupo de 3 personas. Right? Yo puedo decir, there are 3 persons here. Está bien. Pero la manera normal de decir eso sería 3 people here. Por lo tanto, people es contable. All right, do you have any other question? Like on the topic?
No.
On quantifiers and the others? All right, let's go back to the book then. Where is the book? Disappear. Here it is. Okay, guys. So let's do this exercise right here before we finish. You are going to give me which is the correct alternative. Now I'm going to read and you tell me. How to be a good neighbor. If someone moves in next door, introduce yourself. If you are new to the area, they'll probably have a little or a lot of questions.
A lot of
questions. Questions are, I mean, it's a countable noun, and a little only for uncountable. So here, a lot of, a lot of questions. For example, how much or many times per week do you, the week per week, the garbage is collected?
Many.
Many. Aquí estamos hablando de como las veces, como tal, no del tiempo, sino las veces, right? Many. Get to know them and give them a bit or plenty of information about yourself. Now, we didn't see this one, a bit, but a bit is similar to a little, right? A very small portion of something. Many times, all right, to get to know them and give them a bit or plenty of information. What do you think?
A bit.
All right, a bit of information about yourself. If you do all of or a lot of gardening, if you do all of or a lot of gardening,
all of.
Aquí lo que se refiere es si haces mucho trabajo de jardinería. O sea, si te gusta la jardinería, si te gusta estar trabajando en el jardín. So en este caso sería, if you do a lot of gardening.
A lot of.
Yeah. Or if your kid sometimes make too much or many noise. Much noise, good. Let them know. Some families have several or plenty pets. Several. ¿Qué es? ¿Cuál es el significado de several?
Varios.
Varios. Good. Aquí ya tenemos otra clase de quantifiers. Pets. Dogs can be noisy. And cats sometimes wander into neighbors' yards or homes. If it happens only a few or a little times, a few times. Estamos hablando de veces. Yes. That's okay. But if it happens a lot or much, aquí yo podría decir que podría usarse las dos. If it happens a lot or if it happens much, all right? It's a problem. People who say they never have much trouble or many trouble. Guys, people who say they never have much trouble or many trouble. Ok, trouble significa problema, ¿cierto? Pero a diferencia de la palabra problema, la cual problem, la cual sí es plural, one problem, two problems, three problems, es contable.
Es
La palabra
incontable.
trouble es incontable.
Much trouble.
Much trouble. Yes, much trouble. With their neighbors are usually good communicators. It's easy. Tell them about community news and events. Tell them beforehand about your parties, or better still, invite them. If they are partying with you, will they complain about the noise? None or no?
No.
No, right? So let's see the answers right here. This is how it could be. Now, here, where is it? Aquí, chicos, en esta de aquí, puede ser ambas, ¿oyeron? No hay problema. Right here, it could be both of them. En esta también puede ser ambas, pero según el texto tienes que darle mucha información. Plenty significa mucho, right? Plenty of information. Pero todos sabemos que no es bueno darle mucha información a nadie, ¿cierto? Así que, como ustedes dijeron, a bit of information, también está bien. All right, guys, so is this clear?
Yes.
All right, guys, so this is it. I hope you understood this topic.